Hey guys, it's Rose. I wanted to talk to you about a little idea that I have that I'm going to be doing, and I'm going to be trying to put forth for you on my BookTube channel, which is theming my months of reading. And I may not do this every month. In fact, I can guarantee that I'm not going to do it every month because there's going to be times that I just want to pick and choose random books and read whatever I feel like. But for other months, I'm really excited about the idea of doing themes for my reading for the month. Also because I feel like that's going to help me widen my reading choices, broaden my scope. I'm always wanting to broaden my reading horizons because as a writer, that helps what I do, that helps what I put out if I can learn from a wider range of authors and a wider range of styles. It's worth saying that this is actually an idea that came to me because I realized that in October every year I try to read spookier books because Halloween, duh. And I sort of realized that in September the books that I was theoretically lining up in my head all fit into one category, and I went, I could do a little themed thing for a few months and see how that goes. Hopefully it works out well, hopefully it's interesting for you, and hopefully it will help me a little bit. It may be that this works for 2 months and then I, say, forget it, I'm just going to read what I want. But let's give it a try, shall we? For September, therefore, I'm going to be doing themed reading around series, and I'm going to call it, this is not a shocker, Series September. What this means is that during the month of September, I'm going to stick entirely to reading books that are part of a larger series. I'm hoping that I may even be able to read entirely through a few series, because that would be really fun. The way that I feel like this is going to help as a writer is that it's going to help give me a better perspective on how different people carry a concept or a character through anywhere from 2 to 3 to 10 different books, and how a thread can be carried through an entire series and done successfully. While what I write right now is obviously blog posts, which are a completely different beast, and entertainment news, again, completely different beast, but for the novel and creative writing side of things, I'm considering trying to attempt to develop individual novels into series, and this would be a really interesting way of seeing how that might work with my characters and whether or not that's going to be achievable. At this very moment, I'm reading the River God, or the Ancient Egypt series by Wilbur Smith. These are 4 of the books. The 5th one is currently sitting in my handbag because I am reading it. These are Wilbur Smith books. The series goes River God, The Seventh Scroll, Warlock, The Quest, and Desert God. I have read River God before. It is one of my favorite books ever. I adore it. I adore historical fiction. I adore ancient Egypt. And I believe this is actually based on a series of scrolls that were uncovered in an archaeological expedition. This has got a really solid base in fact, and I find that just so amazing. It's sort of like a historical fiction that's based on a diary, and that's cool. It adds another element, another layer of realism to the fiction, and I just love it. And it's a great story. I have not read the rest of them, but I managed to score the first 4 books for the grand total of $2 altogether, which basically confirmed that I had to read it. And this is also connected to the fact that Desert God is a very recent publication. This just came out last year, and it essentially reminded me, when I saw it on the bookshelves, of how much I loved the original book and how much I'd always wanted to finish the series. So if you have read this, if this is a series that you're into, then please let me know your own opinions on it. I would love to geek out about Wilbur Smith with you because he has been a favorite author of mine for the longest time. I'm also reading the Outlander series by Diana Gabaldon. You may be aware of this because it is also a TV series. I picked up the first one in print I loved it. I read it so quickly that I got the remaining books in the series on ebook, and these are now replacing my Game of Thrones ebook reading for reading at the gym. So these might take me a little longer to finish. I'm not sure that I'll get through the entire series this month, given that I'm only really reading them when I'm working out, but they are absolutely fantastic. I love the fact that it's Scottish historical fiction because that's actually where I'm from, believe it or not, no accent. That's my entire mother's side of the family. I spent most of my teen years living there, and it's just really nice to get a little historical fiction for somewhere that I feel so connected to. I'm also going to be reading The Girl in the Spider's Web by David Lagercrantz. I talked about this in my August wrap-up video because I have just finished reading the first 3 books in the Millennium series by Stieg Larsson. So excited to read this. And this just came out. This was actually released last week, I believe. This is in like brand spanking new. So I'm also probably going to do a review of this month because it is such a new book, and I'm so excited. I am also going to be reading the Dune series. I do have Dune as well. They're by Frank Herbert. Dune I do not have to hold up and show you because my husband is reading it, which means that he has it at work right now. These are the problems when 2 readers marry each other. You end up fighting over books. I have never read Dune. This is a terrible bookish confession that I have never read the Dune series. So it just made sense to read it in series September, and I'm really excited about that because it's such a classic, and I can't believe I haven't read it yet. I feel so ashamed. Obviously, this is a whole lot of reading to get done in 1 month. I don't know how much I'm going to manage. That's already up to around about 10 books. I'm going to be trying to read some comic books as well, which are kind of always part of an ongoing series. And if I manage to get all of that done and still have some more time, then A, I'm going to be really impressed with myself. B, I'm going to wonder if maybe I'm not spending enough time actually working and too much time reading. And C, I'm also going to reread The Chronicles of Narnia because I picked up this big omnibus edition recently, and it's a great series of books. I've read it many times. I would be happy to reread it. Also, in the possibility pile for series September, I have Son of a Witch, which is the follow-up to Gregory Maguire's Wicked. I have that on ebook, and I've started it maybe 8 times and never finished it. I don't know if this month is going to be the month that it happens, but it might be. Who knows? We don't know. This is why doing TBR videos is such a weird concept for me, because, like, I could read any of these books. I don't know. I also may make a start on rereading Harry Potter for the millionth time, because as we know, it's always fun to reread Harry Potter in October. So that is my September theme. I'm going to be doing a series September. I have obviously already started because we're about a week into September, and I've already read the first book of Outlander and the first book of River God, and I'm halfway through the 7th scroll. I hope that this idea really interests you. Let me know what you think of themed month reading. If you ever theme your reading by the month, if you do it every month, if you just do it for things like the big holidays, you know, spooky reading in October or Christmassy reading in December. If you do always theme your reading, I would love to know what you're doing for September. Are you doing like pumpkin spiced reads? Are you doing themes for fall and for curling up on the couch? Or are you trying to eke out summer with the last of those beachy reads for an Indian summer? Let me know what you think. Let me know how you feel about series, if you read series all the time, or if you find them just too long and overwhelming. As always, I don't just do this because I like looking at my face on camera, because I don't at all, but because I want to have conversations with you guys, because I love talking about books. Have a great day. Bye.